I just want all of you to know that I am judging each and every one of you. I'm trying to guess your character and what type of person you are. Most likely I'm wrong, but it's not every day that you get to stand in front of a large group and judge. That last part is a lie. We tend to do this a lot. Is that really fair? Seeing is not always believing. Sometimes what you see is not the truth. We, as humans, tend to brush people off in an effort to discredit their character, automatically making assumptions about who they are and where they come from, what they've experienced. A mentor of mine, the late Dorothy Davids, instilled in me the power of human beingness. She described it as what makes you unique, what makes you human, what makes you passionate, what makes you real. It's your overall spirit. Human beingness describes and defines our character and is shaped by the journeys that we take in our lives. Human beingness has been a key practice in my work. I've always taken the opportunity to get to know every person that I come across, understand what makes them who they are, what their character is, what their journey is. I've had the fortunate opportunity to travel this country, meeting countless people from all walks of life, learning more every day about their human beingness. Out of those stories, there is one that stands out. That person's human beingness. It's a boy I once knew. I knew a boy that was born on an Indian reservation to a German mother and a Native American father. He was born in a time when cultural differences were intended to keep his parents apart. They stayed together. This boy was born in a time when there was widespread poverty in his community. Jobs were non-existent. Community members had to decide whether to feed their family or keep the lights on. Many tribal members would leave the reservation and go to metropolitan cities seeking work, including this boy's father. Despite the financial issues within the family, they never made it known to this boy. As the years went on, the community experienced an economic boom with the introduction of Indian gaming. With that, jobs became plentiful. Families were reunited. The changes happened in this boy's home. The boy's father was home more often. It was at the age of 5 when this boy, who now became a big brother, noticed changes in his own home. It was at the age of 5 he experienced abuse for the first time. His father would be verbally and physically abusive to his mother and eventually would take it out on this boy. This boy needed a safe space, a safe place to grow and thrive. He found that in school. He went to school hoping for a safe opportunity to learn and grow. It was there he would think about his dreams, what he hoped to accomplish, what type of man he wanted to be when he grew up. He also learned about bullying. He was teased and made to feel different by the color of his skin, his light complexion, and his body type. So he would go home and be abused and go to school and be bullied. He had no safe space. He focused on his studies and took it. As the years went on, as he got older, he found himself coping in a negative way. He began hanging out with the wrong crowd, which showed him the deep and dark road of addiction and peer pressure. At the age of 11, he tried drugs for the first time, began abusing alcohol. He attempted suicide, began self-harming. At 11 years old, he was on a destructive path. This boy needed a wake-up call, and he got it in the form of a van that his family was in being struck by a train. This boy, his mother, and his brother were all ejected from the vehicle, and moments later the van burst into flames. This family was broken, but all three survived. It was at this point where this boy realized that he had a second chance at life. But he had to face facts that he would never live a normal life like his peers. You see, in this accident, he was committed to a wheelchair, unknown if he would ever walk again. Through his recovery, he thought about his life. Where does he go from here? What does he do? In that time frame, he made the decision to go speak and share his human beingness with others. He was taken by wheelchair to speak to 20 youth. Didn't know what he would say. He opened his mouth and the words came out. It was at that moment when he decided that he would spend every single opportunity of his life helping others. He also made a choice and a commitment to walk again. 6 months later, he did just that. This boy immersed himself in his community. And in the process, got involved with a national Native American youth organization called UNITY, United National Indian Tribal Youth, the largest American Indian and Alaska Native youth organization in the country. At the age of 16, he was elected to their national executive board, began working on behalf of Native American youth across the country. He was appointed to the youth board for the Environmental Protection Agency and the National Organization for Youth Safety. He also traveled around the country sharing his human beingness with others. At the age of 17, he graduated from high school, something he did not think would happen. And 2 months later, he was elected the national co-president of this organization, moving to Washington, D.C. to work on behalf of the organization, traveling the country as a motivational speaker, sharing his human beingness. It was at the age of 21, he left public policy, left Washington, D.C., and ended up going on to get a bachelor's and master's degree. This boy, now a man, would go on to work with youth in his community, would go on to become an active volunteer, eventually settling into a career in corporate training and development. He also would go on to run 10 5Ks and learn how to ballroom dance. I know this boy. I know him well because this boy is me. Why does this story stand out? Because it's mine. I lived it. I stand before you today fully recognizing everything that the boy in me had to endure and experience shaped me into the man I am today. I embrace my human beingness, and I share it with you all. The more we share about ourselves, the more people can see who we truly are. For how different we may seem, we have 4 common bonds. We all bleed blood. We all cry tears. We all love unconditionally. And we all have a story. It's been said that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But it depends on how you define the word strong, as it has different meanings to different people. Stronger, to me, means looking over your life and realizing everything that you've experienced shaped you into who you are today. The people who came along with you become part of that journey. Your essence touches everyone every single day. Your journey is just part of that book of life. Every life experience is a chapter, and that book should be shared with others so they can see who you truly are. I know a person who has a story. I know a person who embraces their human beingness and shares it with others so they can see the real person. I know an individual that looks at others for the journey that they have taken and the character they possess. I know this person. They're sitting right in front of me. This person is you. Thank you.